to try to meet a problem with some of our properties. A lot of our older properties in town, old Victorian homes, have been converted to two-family. And this is a way to incentivize people to convert them back to single.
Well, why do you want to convert the duplexes back to being single-family homes? What is the benefit here?
Well, back in the 70s, there were conversions that took place when parents became old and children had left the house. They decided that they would, in order to stay at their property, would change the property to a duplex, rent out upstairs, and stay. Over the years, that has caused more and more problems for neighborhoods, as now we have two households with children in a house that was designed for one household, with cars, with that added traffic in neighborhoods has really brought down a lot of our neighborhoods and really hurt substantially. So we've been in the last few years working on this program to encourage people to convert their properties back to single family.
How can people convert their properties back to single-family homes if they are a duplex owner? What do they do?
Well, there's two different prongs to this program. One is the borough is actively involved in going out and acquiring properties and converting them, doing the work actually, and selling them out. So people can contact the borough if they have a property they're interested in getting rid of, and we're always in the market and we're looking to flip some of these properties. The other way is for private investors. We offer a low-interest loan program through First Colonial National Bank, where we subsidize interest, and you can actually get a loan for 2 points below prime. Right now, it's about 3% financing that allows you to do the work to upgrade the property to convert it back to the single.
Well, what would be the incentive for the private investor?
Well, actually, in the market right now, single-family homes actually have a greater value. That value that they held as rental properties 10, 15 years ago just isn't there anymore for tax purposes. And in the market right now, in the real estate market, the houses are actually worth more as single-family homes than they are as duplexes. So there's an added benefit. We'll help you convert it into a property that is worth even more money than the property you have today.
And this program has been so successful that you've actually converted 100 properties.
That's right.
So that's good news.
It's great news. Our slogan for the program is glad to be single again. And there have been a lot of properties that have been glad to become single again. We need to do some more. There are still some target neighborhoods where there are properties that have too great a concentration of duplexes, and we're trying to encourage people to come out and use some of this incentive in order to convert them back.
Well, out of curiosity, what is the process like? How long does it take? If I'm a homeowner, I come to you, I say I have a duplex home, I want to convert it to a single family home. How long from the time that I contact the borough until completion?
The financing process is approximately 90 days. There are some steps that we need to do through the borough to do some approvals and create redevelopment areas. And then there's a process through the banking where you go, and it's roughly 90 days from start to finish, really not that long. And during that time, most people work on finalizing their plans for removing upstairs kitchens, reconfiguring the house in order to take it back to that single family.
How long do you think this duplex conversion program is going to last? I mean, we know now 100 houses have been successfully converted, but how many altogether would you like to see? When is your mission complete?
We'd like to see another 100 get completed, and I think we're well on the way to get that done. And with interest rates where they are in this program, we know it's going to get to that point a lot quicker.
Okay, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I'm Jacqueline Dioria for COMCAST Newsmakers. For more news and local information, be sure to join us on CN8, the COMCAST network.
Bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is COMCAST Newsmakers.
It's a great time of the year. The holidays coming upon us, and there's a town that says it's the place to be. We're going to talk about Collingswood. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Joe Bisicchia, and this is COMCAST Newsmakers. This is our newsmaker, the mayor of Collingswood Borough. He's Mayor James Maley. We're talking about the holidays in his town. It's great to have you here.
Thanks, Joe. Great to be here.
Your slogan, it's the place to be?
It's where you want to be, that's right.
It's where you want to be, and for the holidays, you're not going to disappoint in that regard.
No, we're not. We're going to always try to do a little things differently and step it up from the year before. We will do what we've done the last few years, decorate our town. We basically put white lights on everything that doesn't move down our main street, and really lights it up and creates a truly different mood. Very different feel from the shopping malls, and it's a great place for you to take advantage of all the great shops and restaurants that we've got in town now.
There's something that Collingswood does, and I kind of think you have something to do with this, that the rest of the state, all the municipalities are trying to do, and that is to celebrate the piece of Americana that it is. And the holidays really become a time to show that off, isn't it?
Well, it's one of the reasons why people stay. It's one of the reasons why people stay in town. It's a little bit of enjoyment of the old town feeling. There'll be choir singers, there'll be roving carolers, there's carriage rides that'll go on, Santa will be out visiting. And a lot of the different stores do a little something special. We have our second Saturdays that'll happen during the holiday season, where there's a great emphasis on the arts happening in stores and at different spots throughout town. And it's just a great spot to be. It's a great experience for the holidays.
Other than the fact that Santa, for some reason, whenever he's in Collingswood, looks just like the mayor. It's amazing.
Some people say that during the year too, Joe.
Give us a sense. You mentioned second Saturdays. What does that mean? Any typical night during the holiday season of December, can we go into town that we feel like there's going to be something different on a particular night?
On Thursday and Friday nights, there's a special activities going on. There are both the singing and the arts happening. Carriage rides are on Friday night. On the second Saturday of December, there will be a huge outturn, as there is every month of the year, of different performers, both in the performing arts and also in the visual arts. There are folks that are selling their different products. They're in stores. They're giving demonstrations. There's a little bit of everything. And as we get closer to the holidays, there'll be more and more intensive activities that just add a little different flair. We've pumped music into everywhere on the avenue, like literally off of the street poles. We have music that's playing outside, and we've got the trees lit up, and it's just a nice way. If you got to get through this holiday doing your shopping, it's a great way to do it and enjoy it.
And that's such a great point. Some people really actually agonize over this time of the year when we're thinking about gifts and this, that, and the other. How important is it that you're actually answering a public demand to get back to the days when, there was that Dickens feel to the holidays?
Well, it's a great mood. It's also great as a shopper to go into a store where the person selling you the product actually knows about the product. A little different than going into a bigger store where, one day this young lady worked in lingerie and today she's selling electronics. When you go in to buy products from these shopkeepers, you actually are dealing with people that know their product, make it much easier, much more accommodating, help you get the right gift. And it's a much more personalized service. And that's really what the throwback is. The throwback is personal contact, making it nice for everybody that comes in and gives them a great experience.
Well, let's not deny the fact that this is a very competitive time of the year for stores and businesses and all of that. How important does it go that the customer becomes the winner in that competition?
Well, it's really important for all of our businesses, and it is also really important. They know, and we've really worked with them a lot, that to make that success, they've got to give people reasons to come back in January and February and March. And it's not necessarily the place just to make the sales for Christmas time, but it's to really make it be important for them through the year so that everybody gets to realize that Collingswood's where they want to be.
Great having you here. Just 2 moments left. Wish everybody a happy holidays.
Happy holiday. Best of everything.
And see the Santa that's in Collingswood that looks just like him. This hour's Newsmaker has been Mayor James Maley. He's the mayor of Collingswood Borough. I'm Joe Bisicchia for COMCAST Newsmakers. Of course, happy holidays to you.
Delaware Valley's leading news program with Gary Papa, Dave Roberts, and Jim Gardner.
South Jersey was the center of attention tonight. Folks turned out to see the rededication of the Zane School in Collingswood. The celebration marked the end of a big restoration project and the dedication of a millennium clock that was bought with voluntary contributions by the people of Collingswood, New Jersey.
bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is COMCAST Newsmakers.
Collingswood, of course, the rest of the nation sometimes looks at Collingswood and tries to find out what they're doing there because it's so admirable. Something in redevelopment is actually gathering a lot of attention. We're going to talk about it. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Joe Bisicchia, and this is COMCAST Newsmakers. He is, of course, Mayor Maurice James Maley. He's the mayor of Collingswood Borough. It's always good to see you.
Great to see you too, Joe.
Okay, now, the Parkview. No longer is it in your hands, but this, and part of the reason why this is such a success story, is not in your hands anymore. You've been able to parlay this into a great success for Collingswood. The rest of New Jersey's looking at this, aren't they?
Well, it's getting a lot of attention because we're, I can't believe this, but we're now 10 years down the road from when we started this. And it's really, with all the focus these days on redevelopment, this is one where we've gotten through the process. And we're 10 years down the road, and that investment we made, the borough made itself a long time ago, has paid off with some dividends.
You know, I'm glad you put it that way because in many ways we'll always say, you know, wisdom's not knowing down the line, it's knowing what to do next. And, you know, the whole football term, maybe you don't go for the long touchdown pass, you got to get the first downs first. In redevelopment, how important is it for us to be patient like that? You're seeing that pay dividends right now as you have scored the touchdown.
Well, it takes a lot of time, and that's, I think, what part of the problem is maybe in some of the areas where elected officials, you know, who have a 4-year term want to make something happen to show to folks. It takes a lot of time. You can't correct some things that have gone wrong over decades in 2 years. And I don't know if it's good or bad, but I've been doing this for a couple days now, and we're at the end of this 10-year process on this project, and I actually got to see it turn around.
The situation, what it was a lumberyard. It was
no, this was an apartment complex.
Oh, forgive me.
That's all right. This is a 1,000-unit, 4-tower apartment complex.
Okay.
Okay. It was. You're thinking about another redevelopment project, but the Parkview was 4 towers that were half empty, and just on the front page of the local newspaper all the time. And we stepped in and invested like $8 million into the project.
All right, now straighten me out here because you have so many. This is an interesting part of redevelopment. You have to know how to balance. You're not just throwing passes down this way. You got to go both ways, right?
Yeah. Well, trying to hit your top 10 list. You know, the things that are the worst. You know,
the
go
lumberyard.
Concentrate.
What happened with that? What's going on with the lumberyard?
We're in the process of building condos right now at the lumberyard, which sits in the downtown, sits on our main street, Haddon Avenue, in the downtown. This apartment complex we did at the time, back in 1996, was really viewed as being a sign that we were going downhill. It's 20% of the households in our town, and it had the potential of taking us in the wrong direction. And we bonded and invested $8 million of our taxpayer money. At the time, that was more than our annual budget. And we invested in a deal where we would share in the upside. And 10 years later, it's been sold, we've gotten our money back, and we've made $4 million in profit on it.
Were there any lessons from that that helped you with other redevelopment, including the lumberyard?
Well, it helped with public support. It helped with having something that was viewed as we were being proactive and resulting in some success. It garners great support from people. And now as we've moved 10 years later, where we're developing a project because there are very hard issues in the project, it's gotten great public support, and it makes it easier to do.
You know, in our final moments here, we do COMCAST Newsmakers up and down the entire state. Blessed to talk to mayors up and down the entire state. This is a hot issue, the redevelopment issue. Collingswood is becoming like a poster child. What would you say is the one point that you would say that your lesson would be to the other towns?
Well, you need to do something that gives your project some credibility, gives your whole redevelopment process credibility. The hardest part about doing redevelopment is getting people to believe that things will be better. And you need to show them in some way that things will get better.
So it's a little bit like Elway. He knew he was going to get that touchdown in that drive. And you just had to know every step of the way.
That's what it is. It's just like the quarterback of the Broncos, Joe. That's what it is.
It's great to see you, Mayor.
Good
All
to
the
see
best.
you too.
This hour's Newsmakers, Mayor James Maley. He's the mayor of Collingswood Borough. I'm Joe Bisicchia for COMCAST Newsmakers. Thanks for watching.